Good morning, I'm Shehab. More than 28,000 people are now known to have died following the earthquakes in southern Turkey and northern Syria. Outbreaks of violence in some areas have forced a number of rescuers to pause their searches, while some survivors are still being found. Hope is now fading. Jay Akbar has the latest.
With each passing day, cities like Antakya become less a site of rescue, more a sprawling cemetery. And yet, rescuers dig through concrete and earth for survivors more in hope than expectation. 28,000 and counting have now died in Turkey and northern Syria. Entire families gone so quickly, says this imam. Many are buried without names. If the family doesn't come forward, Yusuf says, or if they're all dead too, we become their family. Then there are those left behind, like Mustafa in neighbouring Syria. When the earthquake started, I fled the house, he says. I told my children to do the same. My children, my brothers, my sisters. Everyone is dead. Life is meaningless now. They're still searching here, he says as he walks through the rubble. I hope they still find someone. That supply of hope is low, but not empty. In the remote town of Nadaga, a bittersweet miracle. How did you make it out alive? Neighbours ask 67-year-old Maniva, who was buried underneath the rubble here.
The whole building started shaking. The walls fell on top of me. I was trapped like that for 24 hours. Then I heard a voice calling out, "Is there anyone in here?" I shouted back, "I'm here. I've been told my husband is dead." They found his body 3 days ago under the rubble.
The search continues, but in some parts of Turkey it's come to a halt after desperation turned to anger and violence. Unnamed groups have clashed with police, and as food and supplies run out, some have resorted to looting local merchants to stay alive.
We have to watch our houses, our vehicles. Looters target our homes. What we're experiencing is a nightmare.
This is life in Turkey and Syria now. Both governments, the UN and the international community, have been criticised for not doing enough, quick enough, for those trying to survive by any means necessary. Jay Akbar, ITV News.
Another unidentified object has been shot down over North American airspace, the third in a week. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau confirmed the latest sighting had been taken out by a US F-22 fighter jet over northern Canada. It was cylindrical and smaller than the suspected Chinese balloon that was shot down last weekend. While on Friday, President Joe Biden ordered a fighter jet to shoot down a high-altitude object off Alaska. The future of the chairman of the BBC is in doubt today after a scathing report found he made significant errors of judgment because he failed to declare his role as a go-between for a loan for Boris Johnson. The report is critical of Richard Sharp's failure to mention his involvement in the events when applying for the job. The Digital, Culture, Media and Sports Select Committee, which approved his appointment 2 years ago, asks him to consider the impact his omissions will have on trust in him, the BBC and the public appointments process. And Labour say his position is increasingly untenable. Thousands of people in New Zealand are without power as parts of the country are faced with the beginning of a severe storm. Gabrielle has hit the northernmost region of the country. Most schools in Auckland will be closed from tomorrow, and evacuation centres for residents have been set up in preparation. To the Brits, and Harry Styles was the big winner last night, taking home 4 awards, including Best Album.
I'm very aware of my privilege up here tonight, so this award is for Rena, Charlie, Florence, Mabel and Becky. Thank you so much.
He also won Best Artist and used his acceptance speech to name the women who didn't get nominated in the category. Other big winners were Beyoncé and British indie rock band Wet Leg, who picked up 2 Brit Awards for Best New Artist and Best Group. The band from the Isle of Wight won 2 Grammys last week. And that is it from us this morning. We'll be back with the latest news at 2:05. Until then, enjoy your morning. Goodbye.